The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
What up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison, alongside Aisha Morrison and Christy Scales.
That's a good one.
What up?
Oh my gosh.
How y'all doing?
We are good.
Are y'all sure?
Yes, it was beautiful outside today. Mm-hmm. It's starting to feel like fall for real, even though it's about to be winter technically. It's not my business. Whatever you're doing, God, it's fine.
All right.
But yeah, it's been a nice day. Yeah. What about you, Christy?
I like the short weeks because then you can, because things are fast, things don't drag. I like to just get it turned around as quickly as possible. And the only thing I like more than the Thanksgiving Day game is having Thanksgiving weekend off. So
that's a good point.
3 days off in a row.
I literally just told someone that today. I said, I'm getting 3 days off in a row. I do not take that lightly. In the middle of the season?
Yeah.
Big sis about to relax.
Yeah, and that's the thing, having the 3 games in 11 days for the Cowboys. We talked about it last week, how you have the Monday night game and then the short week into Washington on Sunday and then the game this Thursday. But then on the backside, not only do you have the long weekend, but then you have the Monday night game against the Bengals at home. So this is a real chance if the Cowboys can get the win against the Giants to really rest up. And it's more than a mini bye; it's more like a mini bye and a half.
Yeah.
For the preparing for the December stretch
and to get healthy too. You still
Absolutely.
have a couple of guys banged up. Still have guys like a DeMarcus Lawrence who still is trying to use this time to get back healthy as well. So certainly needed for those guys. All right. We don't have the injury report right now, of course, because the guys are out on the field practicing, but we will have it hopefully soon. If not, it'll be at 5 o'clock, and we will not be on the show anymore. So it's fine. All right. We'll have it for y'all tomorrow, but no worries. But, of course, we have to talk about the big news of the day. All the shows have talked about it, but we, of course, bring different perspectives, and that is okay. Jerry Jones this morning on The Fan addressing if, not ruling out Mike McCarthy extension, and he had said, word for word, here's the quote, "I don't think that's crazy at all. It's not crazy. Mike McCarthy's an outstanding coach. This is a Super Bowl winning coach. Mike McCarthy has been there, done that." Come on, Jerry. "He has great ideas and no place in my body language or anything else. Have you seen indications to what we're going to be doing with this staff at the end of the year? We got a lot of football left." Do you guys feel that Mike McCarthy, the game against the Washington Commanders, was that something that solidified, or we'll go with solidified, or at least helped build a case for Mike McCarthy to still stay here?
Why you want to go first?
Oh, no. Well, first of all, let's in terms of context, because when you say that's not crazy, the question from Bobby Belt, and this is on The Fan, a flagship station for the Dallas Cowboys radio network, and Bobby asks if it's crazy to see Mike McCarthy back, or getting an extension, a new contract, and so that's why it starts off with that's not crazy at all. So, hey, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Me saying that I'm not a person that likes change for the sake of change, but at the same time, even if you go on a big run, unless you make the playoffs, and what did everybody say coming into the season, that it was basically NFC Championship or bust? I'm talking media and fans, not the Jones family themselves. But I don't know. I think it would be a hard sell for the fan base to bring him back, but you get this team on a roll, then we'll see. But I don't know, Aisha. I know you're.
I'm a little indifferent because I do think when you look at anytime you look at a coach, and it sucks because we have recency bias a lot of time when it comes to this type of stuff. But also, like the state of the Cowboys when Mike McCarthy got it, have mercy. It was not, heart-shaped rainbows, clovers, and balloons. It took him some time to figure out how to get this team going, and then eventually they had the, 3 12-win seasons. But in order to get there, he had to make some tough decisions along the way. And remember, he had a staff that he brought in here initially, but he pivoted. He realized, okay, well, maybe this isn't going to work. He pivoted. He brought in Dan Quinn. They brought in Dan Quinn. They brought in these other gentlemen, and they have been able to kind of seize forward from there. But with the conversation of you bring him back, I do think, from a front office standpoint, you look at it like, okay, he's had 2 losing seasons out of the 5 losing seasons as of right now.
Yeah.
Out of the 5 he's been here. It'll be 5, right? 4? 5.
This is his 5th year.
It'll be 5 that he's been here. What, and weigh the pros and cons, but then also, too, you do have a lot of building to do as far as your staff, because a lot of these gentlemen that are here are on 1-year deals as well. So it just puts everything in limbo. So for me, I don't think Mike McCarthy's a bad coach.
Absolutely
I don't.
Not.
I do not think he's a bad head coach. I do think that some of the things that have gone on within the coaching staff haven't helped with some of the decisions that were made coming into this year. I would have loved Joe Philbin to stay. But to answer your question, I'm sorry. To answer your question, I'm indifferent. Because I think that, like I said, I think Mike McCarthy came here and really did shift this team in certain ways. But it hasn't gotten you over the threshold. And that's not solely on coaching. It's not solely on coaching. It's not just his fault that that's happened. But when this type of stuff happens, when these type of seasons happens, there's always someone that has to take the fall.
Because you can't fire the players.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can't fire the players just for economic salary cap reasons. You're tied to them once you sign these extended deals, and if you decide, hey, can't handle it anymore, get rid of them, then you handcuffed yourself moving forward in terms of what you can do bringing other people in because of the salary cap implications.
I was going to go back towards to add on to what you were mentioning. It depends also on how the front office looks at things, because if they're solely evaluating on this season alone, because this is what we required you to do with this personnel and things like that, then it's okay. That's how you kind of weigh it or consider it in that opinion. But if you're just thinking solely on everything that Mike McCarthy has been able to do here, then that's a different conversation. It makes it kind of hard if you are the front office to have to make this decision.
But I wonder how, because, all right, so I'll liken it to how we evaluate draft players, right? Depending on the position, you give them grace for 2-3 years. You give them grace through their development, because some positions do take a little bit longer to see results from right away. Running back, you can see results right away. An offensive lineman, you might not get their best play until their 3rd year. You might not get a DT's best play into his 4th. That is a part of the game. Are we looking at the 5 years just being similar to Dan Quinn, where it's just like it's run its course?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like, and again, I'm asking, like, is that something that they may think of as well? Is like you have 5 years to figure out, that's what the contract says, right? This is your period to get us over that threshold.
Yeah.
It has not happened, then, okay, this is by default the decision that we make at this point.
But who are you going to bring in here that doesn't have the same culture that Mike McCarthy has already built?
That's the issue. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And then to your point of it takes these young guys to develop, when I talk about change for the sake of change, you bring in a new staff, a new system, that affects scouting, that affects who you want. You bring in these young guys, you got to, there's that time.
Yeah.
So,
And you don't have time.
And you don't have time because the exactly that you're paying premium. You've got the highest. You're going to have the highest paid defensive player with Micah if you get him re-signed. You're going to have the guy who's currently the highest paid in Dak, and then the second highest paid wide receiver in the league with CeeDee Lamb.
And Deron
Bland is coming too. So, and then you're going to have the Tyler Smiths of the world, right? So, you know, but even more importantly, it's the expectation of Cowboys fans and sponsorship. And they're the ones that ultimately pay the bills, because they're the ones paying $16 for a Cowboy Rita or whatever it is. Yeah. And
Stop.
No,
she's telling the truth.
No, I'm being completely honest. Yeah. And so you have to keep them engaged as well and excited about it.
And they've checked out. So a lot of them are. Unfortunately.
Hey, you're still averaging over 9. You're still number one by over 20,000 fans a game. The AT&T Stadium, the average attendance for a Cowboys game is about 93,600. Okay, you still have the fan base. Are a lot of them mad?
That Washington game
Are a lot of them
lit.
mad? Yes, it was, and you're still drawing people on the road. You're still getting the eyeballs on the national broadcast. We still have millions of listeners for Cowboys radio. The numbers for DallasCowboys.com. The fans are there and they're engaged. Yeah, that's so, but to have them like super excited about what's coming, it's part of the equation. Is it the number one thing? No, but remember that your general manager is also the owner. And this is a business.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So
All right, let's take our first break, and then we're going to dive into this New York Giants-Cowboys matchup on Thanksgiving. Y'all excited?
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving.
Heck yeah.
You don't sound too excited. I'm going to need you to lift it up. Wake up! All right, we'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
'Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance to learn from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders at dance camps on December 27th and former NFL players at football camps on December 23rd and 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at DallasCowboys.com/camps. Look forward to seeing everybody there. And like I've been saying for a month, that's a wonderful gift for the little Cowboy fan in your life, or little DCC fan who wants to dance with the cheerleaders. Also, the new Dallas Cowboys Star magazine, the DCC edition, is out, so you can find that online or if you visit a Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop.
So dope. That'll be at AT&T Stadium? No,
Yes, these camps are at AT&T Stadium, which is really cool because we have several camps in the summer, and some of them are at the stadium, and some of them are here at the Star in Frisco. So maybe you've attended a camp here at the Star, but would like to do one at the stadium because kind of it's cool. It's a different kind of feel. So both are awesome.
They'll be at AT&T Stadium. Like the Cowboys, they'll be back home here Thursday for Thanksgiving, taking on the New York Giants. They've had 3 straight season sweeps over them. They're looking for their 4th. You look back to week 4 when the Cowboys, of course, took down the win. Oh, in New York, we love that. It was barely, but it's fine. We still won. They still won. It's fine. All right, but you look at what the Giants have going on over there. They're 2-9 in the season, having lost 6 straight games. A lot of issues with Malik Nabers. He's saying that the team was soft. Of course, he wants the ball a little bit more. We know what happens when receivers ask for the ball a little bit more. But yeah, no, certainly a lot of things. The quarterback position, Adam Schefter actually tweeting about 4 hours ago that Tommy DeVito is dealing with a forearm injury. And is, in the words of head coach Brian DeBall, not 100% to play Thursday versus the Cowboys. So let's start with the quarterback position first. Would you guys prefer to have Tommy DeVito, or would you guys rather the Cowboys have to face a Drew Lock?
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Because, baby, Drew Lock is one of those weird guys. I liken him to, I think, Minshew has kind of come back down to like earth now, but there was a period where he would just come play backup for a team and they would somehow be fun or electric because he's just a risk taker and he'll do some things. I don't think Drew Lock is as much of a risk taker, but he has confidence in his ability when you watch him play. He's not some timid guy that's going to play quarterback. He goes out there and enjoys himself, and I do think that he can give an offense a boost. He has some experience as well. Like, he's played in this league longer than Tommy DeVito. So if you're trying to get a W, I would much rather not see Drew Lock. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not huge difference, but he is, to me, the better player. For sure.
And Tommy DeVito took a beating in his start against Tampa on Sunday.
He's dealing with some
in a
things,
short
right?
week. Yeah, so the forearm officially on the injury report, but man, he just got smashed multiple times in that game, but especially at the end. They are having issues with injuries along their offensive line, and the entire offense is paying a price because of that. And then, so Andrew Thomas, who's one of the better left tackles in the league, has been on injured reserve and missed the last month and a half. And so Jermaine Illuminor moved from right tackle to left tackle. Well, he left the game with a quad injury early on Sunday and didn't return. And if he doesn't play against the Cowboys on Thursday, they have a guy named Chris Hubbard who's really their backup right tackle. But yeah, it was. He played most of the game against Tampa, and this is a offense that it's hard to watch. That first half, I think they had just maybe 2 first downs in the first half. They only had 17 plays in the first half, 46 yards total in the first half against Tampa. They had only 8 plays in the first quarter, and DeVito's numbers look pretty good overall for the game, but it was all in the second half when, they were so far behind and got some, I won't say garbage time, but, they were having to throw the ball. But in the first half when it really mattered, DeVito only had 31 passing yards. The person that we should look for, because if you follow the NFL, the last couple days you heard about Malik Nabers sounding off after not getting any targets in that first half. Well, expect them to go early and often, don't you think? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like when the Cowboys played him last time, he kind of
had a concussion though. He
got one during the game, but
he was still having a game.
I remember watching him and just being like, I don't like this, because they were going to him every play, and I think obviously receivers want the ball, but he was taking a beating. I felt like the Cowboys were really thumping a bit that game, and by the time he had gotten hit and he went out of bounds, that last time he had his concussion, I was just like, this isn't healthy for what's going on. The ball distribution just wasn't there that game, and they were just spamming him, kind of.
He had 12 receptions, 115 yards that game, and despite, of course, missing 2 games, he's had 67 catches for 671 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Heck of a player.
Yeah, physically, what a beast.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, seriously.
Yes.
That guy's going to have a great long career if he stays healthy. But I think their best chance is this Tyrone Tracy, this running back, even entering as much as that offense has struggled and, that had to play a lot. They've been so far behind in all these games and having to pass a lot. And yet entering the weekend, he's leading all rookie running backs in rushing. This guy's got a little juice to him.
Oh, yeah.
Did you study him?
I did study him, and I am upset at myself for not having my handy dandy. I ain't got all fancy with this freaking iPad. I left my notebook at home. I remember he went to a smaller school, yes. I can't remember. Let me go look. I can't remember where he went. But I remember watching him. And again, people always talk about running back.
Purdue?
Yes. So not a smaller school, but is Purdue known for football? What are they known for?
The Boilermakers that are watching this are like, heck yes, we are.
Well, yes. I remember when we talked about him on the show, I felt like people were surprised that there was a running back playing to that caliber there. And some people mentioned the competition and stuff like that, but I saw a tough, he can bounce off of tackles. He had the fumble the other week, and he beat himself up really bad about it. He has not had issues with ball security through his career, so I'm sure that was hard on him. Yeah. However, Donovan Wilson seems like he's starting to kind of feel himself a little bit more. I'm going to be looking for him to maybe take the ball away from Tyrone, because they are going to lean on him, to your point. They are leaning on him right now because they all understand that they're not getting much going with their passing game. I expect for him to get quite a few touches as well. So I wish I had my report on him. I'm sorry, y'all.
And another place, because you mentioned with the fumble, one of the issues,
my bad,
one of the myriad of issues that the Giants offense is having is they can, their time of possession, they drive the ball some, but man, in the red zone, it's turnovers, 7 turnovers in the red zone. I mean, they are just killing themselves with that. Not with penalties. They're one of the least penalized teams in the league, but, once they get close, it's, it kind of making mistakes in terms of turnovers.
I'm not saying the Cowboys offense was this rough, but they had some issues, similar to what the Giants are kind of going through now. It feels good to finally not have to, say that they're starting to click. We love to see that. But no, when you go back to talking about Tyrone Tracy, he's certainly taken their run game up to new heights. They were near the bottom of the league in run game, rushing offense, and now they're 19th. So you see what he's done there. But in terms of the Dallas defense, what have they done well that you can kind of translate over, carry over in order to contain him?
Well, against the run.
Against the run.
Yeah, because I was going to say they really got it going with the pass rush with the 4 sacks and Micah a couple of sacks. Yeah. But with the run game, that's interesting. Do you think they're gonna play down in this? Kind of fill the box, but then that kind of might expose you to Malik Nabers if he gets hot. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell y'all. I think they about to fly upfield.
Run blitz.
Yes.
Run blitz them.
I can imagine. I think I could see Mike Zimmer being incredibly aggressive this game, especially if it's a DeVito. Now, if it's Drew Lock, maybe he isn't as aggressive. Again, it hasn't always been pretty with Drew Lock, but he's had his moments, and he can read a defense. He's not a stupid player. If I'm being honest with you, sometimes these backup quarterbacks is just smart as the guys that are on the field. So I know that he understands what he's seeing. The Cowboys, you have seen Mike Zimmer. I think I look at it as this pass rush is earning this defensive line is earning the opportunity to do more on the line with stunts and different looks. I think Mike Zimmer is starting to trust them a little bit more with their assignments, because it's like, I'm not running no dang special things for you to loop around and get sacks. If you can't do the basic things correctly, I think he's starting to trust them. So he's navigating, finding double teams and favorable matchups in the A and B gaps and stuff. I think Zimmer's going to come after this offensive line, y'all. I think the Dallas defense right now, their strength is crazy enough. I think their defensive line right now. So whoever it is, I think it's going to be I don't want to see DeVito out there getting hit again. Y'all, that was bad.
It was bad. Yeah.
That was bad. Nobody was. I was concerned. I turned it off. I can't do it.
Stop. No. You talk about the run game and the defensive line being the strength of this defense. I mean, you got to give credit to Oso Digizua and Mozzie Smith taking steps, specifically also in the run game, and you've seen a little bit of improvement too, not allowing too many big runs up the middle. Am I right?
It's been better.
It's been a little bit better.
Absolutely. It's been better. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people look at the level of competition and they say, oh, well, Houston wasn't, hasn't been playing that well, and they had guys get injured. Or, Washington, like Brian Robinson was kind of banged up and things like that. Jaden Daniels kind of banged up. First of all, that ain't our problem, number one. Number two, when you're evaluating, it's not always like when you're watching on film, you can see if guys are getting it, if they are reading their keys, if they understand what they're seeing. You can see uncertainty in how they play. And I just see more certainty from the defense overall. They're faster. Like, all of them are playing faster, but they are 100% benefiting for the fact that they are getting some pass rush and the threat of the pass rush. They are taking on some of these offenses. We're also at that point in the season.
Yeah.
People are banged up. Yeah. So we already went through it. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. Like, this team has been decimated with injuries. You want me to feel sorry for the Giants because their tackles went out? You want me to feel sorry for Washington because their tackle and their center got injured during the game? No, false. It is what it is. They line up and play.
Yeah.
So I don't subscribe to that. I believe that this defense is really starting to understand the system, and they're starting to not only just play it, they're starting to be able to make plays within it because they understand what they are doing.
I sure hope Eric Kendricks is able to play on Thursday.
Was he on injury report?
At the very end of the game, like the second to last defensive series, came off with a groin injury. He's working off to the side today. And then Nealand with the knee. Of course, he comes back last week and plays for the first time since going on injured reserve earlier in the season. But he would, be one of these really good defensive ends to help with the run. And so hopefully, he's a guy that's working off the side as well. But, feel better about it if it weren't a short week about having those two guys. But, again, I know we'll have the practice report later today and then tomorrow. But those two players in particular, I think, merit watching.
I'm going to be nice.
Go ahead. Are you?
Let Damone Clark play.
Boy, Damone Clark had that. Wasn't he the one that had the hit on Eckler at the end of the game in the kickoff coverage?
I thought it was 41.
Was it Vigil?
I thought it was Vigil.
I don't think it was
Vigil came up with the football.
That gentleman, that Eckler is going this way. Whoever hit him, whether it was Damone Clark or it was Overshown.
Oh, it was Overshown? Overshown? Woo.
He came this way and popped him. I was like, y'all, is anyone seeing this? I was concerned. Like, obviously, it was a scary moment. Clean hit. Still a scary moment. I think Damone Clark, this is weird. We haven't
played
talked
very
about
well
it
against the Lions.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I find
one of the things with him being inactive the week before last was they had they had to go long. They went with fewer players active on game day at linebacker because they had to go long at defensive back. And so that's what the injury situations where Jordan Lewis was out, Bland was still out. So, yes, he has been a victim of the numbers game recently. But, yeah, this might be a really good chance on a short week for him to get more playing time and impose his will.
We got a correction. That was Damone Clark. You're right on that play.
It was.
Said that.
Yeah, Clark made the hit.
Dang.
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
Barnacles.
Well, hopefully we do get a chance to see Damone soon. But we're going to take our second break because we do have a short show today. We'll be right back talking secondary improvement and how they can stop this Giants wide receiver core, especially with Malik Nabers. We'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Capture a frame-worthy family holiday photo with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Realty. Santa will be spreading holiday cheer at his cowboy-themed cottage in the Star District now through December 24th. For more information and to book your visit, head to thestardistrict.com/Santa.
Go ahead and head to the district. What did it say?
So the website is thestardistrict.com/Santa.
Retweet. All right. Trayvon Diggs, let's go back to, we don't have the injury report today's yet. So looking at yesterday's, Trayvon Diggs was limited because of a groin/knee injury. He, of course, missed the matchup against the Washington Commanders. Is there any reason to be concerned to not have Trayvon Diggs possibly for another game?
Yes, because Mike McCarthy said today that he's going to be limited and working with the rehab group. Yep. So, yeah, I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, but based off what you've seen from the secondary, do you feel like they can afford not having Trayvon, or is this a huge loss?
They'd be all right. With this offensive line? The Dallas's defensive line and the way that they've been playing should be able to rush the passer consistently. I would be very surprised if they were not able to get to the quarterback. They do have some weapons on the outside. You mentioned Malik Nabers. Can't miss Wan'Dale Robinson, who will dice you up in the open field if you give him the chance. Darius Slayton can do some things in the slot and on the outside. Theo Johnson is their tight end. I believe Penn State. Penn State. Watched him in college, and I remember watching him and being like, is this a tight end? Like, and that hasn't really come to fruition with the Giants just yet. You would think with them having, Daniel Jones kind of struggling to push the ball downfield and them having backups in that the tight end would be. But that baby is blocking. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm sure that they are happy they drafted him because that's one of his strongest attributes. He's kind of stocky and strong.
Yeah, he looks like a tackle.
He's a tank. He's a tank. He's a tank of a player. But they have some weapons on the outside that do kind of give you pause. However, like I said, I believe that Zimmer is going to do some cooking with this offensive line. And I don't know, I just feel for them. Evan Neal, their right tackle, he's just been very up and down and consistent throughout his career as well. You can break his hands down. Ooh, Micah. I feel like the Cowboys have the upper hand in this matchup as far as this line.
Well, yeah, because they're not the same team that they were back in Week 4, right, when you mentioned when they played them earlier in the season. So when you think about the way that I'll say pretty much everybody approached that last matchup is there was a lot of confidence within the Cowboys, just considering how they felt they matched up. And now you look at them being a totally different team, and how they kind of match up against them this time. You see the struggles, injuries that they're facing. You see the Cowboys are kind of playing their best ball right now. This is more about the Cowboys. Would y'all agree?
Sure.
Like
Yes.
it's more about
Yes.
them in terms of, like you had already mentioned, confidence. One, you need to win.
Yeah, this team is going in the opposite direction, like you're saying.
Yeah, and so, but you also haven't won at home.
Tracking.
How do you get this win? Because you haven't had success at home. I mean, yes, of course, you are playing really good football, but you don't really have technically the advantage when you're thinking about home
Just
field
fair.
advantage.
It hasn't come to fruition right now this year,
True.
right?
But I think personnel-wise, in this against the Giants, you do have the advantage personnel-wise. And so this is a game where you absolutely cannot beat yourself.
Because they're not going to. The Giants, despite everything that's happening with them, third in the NFL with penalties. They actually play a pretty disciplined.
They play clean.
They play a pretty disciplined brand of football. They just cannot create explosive plays, and they're just not having guys show up enough for them. And they're having the injury bug too. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you look at what they also have. Their offensive coordinator struggling to put up points. They're averaging 22 points since they started off 2-3. He could possibly, who knows, be on the hot seat. And then you also look at the fact that, like we've already talked about, Malik Nabers demanding the ball more. Is that a concern when you have an offense coming in with pretty much so much at stake, and seemingly you see the Cowboys' opponents, when they come in to play the Cowboys, they always seem to find their identity?
I would say yes. Like I do believe that they'll play with some urgency. This is a division rival and everything, and they do still have some players along that defensive line. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Dexter Lawrence is not gonna warrant a double team. Brian Burns is another guy they have as well. Thibodeau, Tyler Nubin, and Deontay Banks are two of their young safeties. Well, one is a safety, one's a corner. Both of those guys are a little banged up. One is dealing with a back. I think Nubin's dealing with a back. Deontay Banks is dealing with a... No, don't tell me. Don't tell me, please. No, what is it? I forgot. Ribs. Ribs. He's dealing with a rib injury. Of course, as a secondary player, that's going to affect you. I just think Dallas should be able to take advantage of some of these opportunities with them being banged up in spots. Offensive line, secondary, quarterback. Barnacles.
Yeah.
Of course, the Cowboys have Cooper Rush with that sore knee, so
that's something to keep an eye on as well.
It is.
That's okay. Is it Trey Lance time? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Who knows? Is there confidence in Trey Lance?
They'll have some packages for him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and depending on with Cooper. If his knee is sore today or tomorrow, maybe Trey gets a few more reps than he would normally get. So that would be helpful, just if he needs to step in.
Saw Tyler Smith was limited today.
Limited, so that's
limited
good.
today.
It's a good sign.
I kind of like the youngins on the offensive line.
I'm like, for why?
I'm just saying.
This is one of those things where it's like, now, knowing Tyler, he wants to play.
Absolutely.
He wants to play because they literally drafted him to go up against a Dexter Lawrence, to go up against a Daron Payne. And I think he really takes these divisional games. You watch him in divisional games with those interiors, he be in there wrestling. So I'm sure he wants to play, but if he doesn't have to, go take a nappy nap or something. You don't just sit
A nappy nap is crazy.
Sit your tail down somewhere. We need you for next year. Please.
Thinking long term here. You're thinking long term here.
I am. He dealt with the quad last year. Kept him out to start the season. He's dealing with the knee this year. The preservation of his career is important to me. I have really have a lot of faith in Tyler Smith and his ability. So. Sorry, I know I was on my box.
No, you're fine.
No,
you're
love
fine.
it.
We actually have to wrap things up.
Yes,
but
we do.
tomorrow, We'll be breaking down the defense here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk. This is Giants defense against Cowboys offense. Yes. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that. All right, that's a wrap for today's show. We'll be back here tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Wake up!
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!